It's time once again to go racing.
The pressure is really on now.
And it's pole position.
And it's pedal to the metal, go, go, go!
Good evening everyone and welcome along to PSGL. We are here for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. It is qualifier night, hosted live and exclusive on the PSGL YouTube channel. And tonight you join us for the official qualifying session as we take in the sights and sounds of the Suzuka International Circuit in the Mie Prefecture of Japan. For those of you who don't know me, and there might be a few of you that don't, my name is James Hay, going to be taking through the stream tonight, and indeed as lead commentator for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. And joining me in the commentary box, it is one of PSGL's very own commentators, not George Morgan, not Jack Canan, it is Mr. Paco Suarez. Paco, how are you doing?
Doing really well, especially flattered after your introduction. But to be honest, I'm just one more, in the team. And really happy to be here. Thanks to everyone who gave me this opportunity, and ready to enjoy tonight's qualifier event.
Yeah, massive thank you goes out to everyone involved behind the scenes, to get myself, to get Paco, and to get Aidan Carter as well. He'll be seen in 2 weeks' time for the inauguration of the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup. But for those of you who don't know what this event is about, the principle of the event is very simple indeed. There are 10 teams with 2 drivers for each team, and there are 7 spots up for grabs tonight in the 3 lobbies that you're going to be seeing, with 5 teams within each lobby as well to join the likes of Comrade Gaming, Visceral Racing and Glitch Vortex Racing team, who have already automatically qualified because of their good results in previous PSGL events. But this evening's qualifier night, however, is split into 3 different lobbies, and each team gets a chance to showcase what they have to offer in terms of their pace, in terms of their drivers, and put it all on the line to reach that golden milestone of qualifying for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. And Paco, looking at the teams that we've got qualifying tonight, it's pretty clear to understand why this could be one of the best events on the PS4 platform.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are big names in it, and especially old teams that have been here, for several years now. And you don't really know how this is going to play out. We have some new teams which haven't made, their name yet in this scenario, but they could make a surprise. We have old teams like TTG, like WOR, Fireboy. Not that old, really recent. But then we have some new names like TOT, Nexus, so I don't really how this is going to play out. It's going to be a really good event, and this is only the start because it's the qualifier. Imagine when they actually get to the final event, which will be 10 rounds, of course, and that's going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, it is going to be absolutely insane. And to bring you up to speed, there have been a few changes since these graphics were made, but 5 teams within Lobby 1 are as follows. So, from the bottom left of your graphic should have been TF10. They are switching to the 8:30 lobby, so in about half an hour's time, you'll be seeing Yamaba and Louis Welsh debuting, of course, from the 3-time PSGL F1 champion, of course, and he'll be debuting, of course, with TF10 in that event. But the 5 teams that we've got here, we've got TTG, we've got Christmas and Fabi representing them. For IFR, we've got Jensen and Dawadek. For TRT, a very unknown team, we've got Cameron and Ayub Khan. We've got Isu and Thopye for Team Addictos. They've switched to the 8 o'clock lobby, replacing TF10. and outplayed Racing, I should say, with Ferry and Yakita in the Aston Martins. Each team have been selected cars as well, so TTG are in the Mercedes, IFR are in the Alfa Romeo, TRT are in the McLaren, ADRT, that's Team Addictos, they're in the Williams, and OP are in the Aston Martin. And Paco, looking at those team lineups and looking at the driver lineups as well, I think one certainty is that we've got quite a competitive lobby going on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, probably in this first lobby, if I'm allowed to be maybe not biased, but having my own opinion, all right, I would say TTE, it's probably one of the favorites, to actually do well in this lobby. But as you said, or as everyone has pointed out earlier, this will consist in all the teams. So it doesn't matter if you're on top in this qualifying session. If you're slower, than everyone else in the other qualifying sessions, you will be out. So we'll have to keep an eye on these times and also keep an eye on the other sessions, remembering what they've done. But if I have to put a big name here is TT. I think they have a really good shot after so many years.
Yeah, they do have a really good shot, and to be honest, we're starting to get going by the looks within the lobby, so about 30 seconds out from the action beginning, out on track, which is fantastic. And if you are tuning in, by the way, and I've seen quite a few of you in the comment section, Jarno Opmeer is not here. I'll say that now on stream. He is in the F1 PC tier. This, of course, is on the PS4 platform, so you can tune in live and exclusive to the PC tier streams on Thursday nights at 7 PM UK time. Of course, George Morgan and Jack Canan taking you through that one. But we are about to get going, of course, in towards qualifying. So, without further ado, let us get started for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. It's qualifying night, and we're about to go for qualifying. And looking at the track map, of course, Suzuka Circuit, absolutely sublime with the figure of 8 configuration. It is 5.8 kilometres and then 3.6 miles, 18 turns awaiting these guys out on track. 1 DRS on, of course, running down the start-finish straight, and 3 compounder tyres that everyone is going to be using as well. The softs, the mediums, and the hards, the C1, C2, and C3 compound of tyre. So it should be quite interesting to see what lap times we get in this qualifying night. We transition, of course, then into the lobby. It's only 10 drivers, of course, 2 representing each team, 5 teams represented in this first lobby. Great to see, though. Blue skies, sunshine, clear weather for this qualifying night. That's exactly what we like to see in Japan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's already, a really difficult and technical circuit. So basically for every driver, they wouldn't like to have a quali, in wet conditions. So hopefully we'll see a really good session today. And drivers will be able to show how good they are.
Yeah, drivers, of course, are going to be showing how good they are. IFI Jensen is the first man out on track for the IFR team. Of course, remember, each team have been assigned their own car. So Alfa Romeo are IFR, and you'll see it to the left-hand side of the graphics as well as we go along. Jensen, though, out on a set of soft compounder tyres. I will say this now, this is my first my first experience, actually, of commentating around here in Suzuka. But this figure of 8 configuration, Paco, it could give drivers quite a nightmare, especially if the curbs are as ruthless as they have been on the last game.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to commentate on that. I think that the curbs here give this track, a really different atmosphere actually, than in the last game. I think it's not as enjoyable as it used to be, and for drivers, as you said, it's going to be a nightmare. If I was them, I would stay a little bit off the curbs, in order to not spin.
Yeah, we have got the track map. I've seen already requests for the track map. There it is on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, that figure of 8 configuration that we are speaking about. He's now coming through up towards 130R. 130R, the fastest corner on this circuit, of course, here in Suzuka. And, of course, we are here tonight in the Mie Prefecture in Japan, with already 2 minutes gone in qualifying. Nobody out on track just yet to set a lap. Jensen, however, we're right on board with him, and let's ride on board with the flying IFL man, the defending champion in Fantari Racing League, which I commentate, of course, on a Tuesday night. Jensen, though, coming out of the final corner, runs toward the line now, opens up that sole DRS zone, running down in towards turn 1, and will look to gain 200 miles an hour on the run down in towards turn 1. Of course, where it happened very early indeed for Prost and Senna back in the day. As we now come through turn number 2, and then in towards the slithering Golden Snake S section, as I like to call it through here. It's the S section, it's a set of S's through 3, 4, 5, and then through turn 6. They come very quickly at you, and the Alfa Romeo coping very well with that. Now coming through the Dunlop curve at turn 7, and then in towards, as he nearly loses it actually on the exit of the Dunlop curve. Now in towards the first Degner, and then in towards the second Degner. Might have just invalidated run wide slightly there. Dick Jensen, he's spun the car, and he is round. And that, unfortunately, is not how you want to begin your qualifying night. Thopye is also on a lap as well. He's on a set of medium compounded tyres. Let's run on board then with the team Edictos man as he now comes through at the top of the hill, through the hairpin, and then running down, of course, in towards Spoon Curve, which is, of course, right down the hill through turn 12. And then in towards turn number 13, and then down, of course, in towards 130. I'm trying to memorise these corner names as I go along, so if I get any of them wrong, just shout at me in the comment section. Hashtag PSGL on Twitter if you do want to get involved with all the latest tweets and the latest action that is in full, and of course out on track. But Thopye running down into the fastest section of the track. It is through 130R, and the Williams now riding on board with him, coming down in towards the final couple of corners in this set of medium compound tyres. Knocks one of the bollards out just for good show as well. Now comes out of the final corner, really aggressively fighting the car through there, runs to the line, and it's a 128.1, but we should see lap times, I would say, Paco, maybe 26s?
Yeah, I think we should see around those times, although I'm not sure. I tried to ask someone earlier on, one of the professional guys, I would say, but I didn't get any response from that, so let's, the comment section guide us through here. But yeah, I would say 126, low 26.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. I mean, 128.1 on a set of mediums is not too bad at all. Bit of slipstreaming going on here from the two TTG boys. Fabian is out lap giving Christmas a run on in terms of the slipstream. No, it is not Christmas, by the way. That's the first point of the night. Christmas now coming through the final couple of corners. They're running to the line. 26.7, there you go. There's the first 26 of the night. And, of course, these lap times get calculated. They get averaged out as well. So it's the top two teams, basically, on average, that qualify as part of this lobby and, of course, of the rest. And I believe we've got 3 extra spaces in one of the lobbies further later on in this session. Ayub Khan, by the way, backed off on his lap. You saw him just to the left-hand side of the screen. Fabi has just started up on a lap as well. Anybody that you can know, Paco, as Isu goes 4th on a 135.6. Plenty of time to find on that lap.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, definitely with a 135, of course, you have plenty of time to find. And as we can see, I think it's an Alfa Romeo who just crossed the finish line. That's Davidek with a 127 flat, basically. And that's a really solid time. Still 3/10 off from the leader. But I have to say, I've been noticing that Ayub Khan, which is on my tier in PSGL, F8, I would say, he has been struggling. He doesn't find the pace. He's touching too much the curbs, and he doesn't stop losing the back end of the car. So I don't know if he's going to be able to fix that, because with 12 minutes remaining, you cannot, change the setup that much, and he's going to struggle a lot. So the guy from TRT is really struggling.
Yeah, Fabi's just in front of him as well, out on track. He's now coming down with a lot of slipstreaming from Christmas, running down in towards the Casio Triangle through 16 and 17. But Fabi currently looking to try and put it to a TTG 1-2. No bias, of course, shown towards TTG. Just because we're affiliated with the team doesn't mean we're going to be supporting them. And he does go second with a 127 flat. But it's Christmas out on top. It's Fabi in second and Dowdek in third. And of course, remember, Dowdek was formerly part of LR. LR, I believe, now disbanded as a result. But Dowdek, it's a good signing, I think, for IFR. Of course, he's right up there with Fabian Christmas, and he could probably find a lot of time on that lap as well.
Yeah, and also I have to comment, I think that Davidek, the progression he has shown in the last game. I remember at the start of the season, I was with him. As we can see now, the Aston Martins giving each other slipstream. So Yakita doing a really good job for Fede, which is going to take right now 130R. And doing a 110.8, if I'm not mistaken, in the second sector. Now facing the last couple of corners, losing a little bit the back end, but I think that's a really good exit. And now on to the finish line. Let's see what time he says, a 127.1, and that's just behind Davidek and 4/10 off, I would say, from Christmas.
Yeah, 4/10 off of Christmas, 200ths of a second though, separating him and Dowdek. And I mean, TRT Cameron, he's there in 5th position, and I believe Cameron's in F5, I believe, in PSGL. He's certainly been in the championship hunt. I think recently in Zandvoort, he lost his championship lead to one of the other drivers within that tier. But Cameron has got some good pace about him. 27.1, he could probably improve on that lap as well. But the first lap times are really done. It's Christmas out on top, it's Fabi second, it's Dowdek in third, Fetty in fourth with Cameron in fifth, Isu in sixth. He's out there on another set of medium compound tyres. He's actually completed 2 laps on that set of medium compound tyres. But Paco, just in terms of the switch from the mediums to the softs, if you see a yellow flag in sector 3, I think it's Fabi just preparing up for a lap. He's coming into the pit lane. Isu, though, 128 flat on that set of medium compound tyres. Now, on average, I think on the last game, it was around 1.2 seconds, the improvement level on a lap around here in Japan. So he could be expecting to go around the high 126s, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's a really good guess. If I'm not mistaken, I think the gap between the soft and the mediums, some tracks haven't changed that much from the previous game. So I think your guess wouldn't be that far off. Hopefully we'll see those two guys in the 126s. Not sure if they could beat Christmas, but I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, and good comment actually. Leon Bentley's just came in the comment section. ADRT do know that it is only qualifying tonight. They do know it is qualifying. Everyone is under the impression that it is qualifying out, of course. We're on board with Jensen, though, coming in towards the centre S's, coming through turns 5 and turn 6. 9 minutes gone in qualifying, 9 minutes remaining, halfway through. It's Christmas out on top, it's Fabi second, Dowdek in third. If you are wondering what this is, still PSGL and VRT Esports Cup. Jensen, however, is just invalidated through Degna 1.
Yeah. Commentator's curse. Just about to point out that he was at a decent lap, but yes, immediately he invalidates. But who is right now in a lap? It's actually a Yupkan. So hopefully, let's see if he can make it out from the S section, if he doesn't spin once again.
Yeah, let's see. You've got to have a high downforce setup, of course, around Japan, and he's got to really try and fight the car. But look at that, catching on the curb. That is an indicator that he's got a low downforce setup on, and it's really not the setup that I'm sure the TRT guys want. Cameron certainly has wrapped it up quite well with a 27 flat. Ayub Khan, I should say, so I get my words out, coming through Degna 1 and then towards Degna 2. Didn't see his first sector, misses the curb slightly out of Degna 2, and now on the run in towards the hairpin, pretty much at the highest point of the track we are at this point in the circuit. Now Ayub Khan just misses the braking zone completely, drifted out wide, that oversteer moment just coming through. In behind him as well, I think Thopye is on lap just in behind. Isu also on an outlap for ADRT. Looks like they might have transitioned onto a set of soft compound tyre. Ayub Khan, though, coming in towards Spoon. Nearly runs wide out of Spoon, and now comes through Spoon curve in towards the 130R section, of course, out of track. Still Christmas out on top, Fabi second, Dowdek in third. You've seen something?
Yeah, Trophy just completely lost it. I think it's turn 13, I would say, or turn 13. And that was the lap completely missed, and he reset it to track, which I'm not sure if it's allowed.
Yeah, not sure if it's allowed. I mean, there was nobody really around him to do that, to be honest. So I think he might get away with that. Ayub Khan, by the way, came in with a 28.2. On laps as well, Christmas is out there, out on a lap. He's on an invalid lap, however. And Fabi, I don't think, realises that he's on an invalid lap. He's giving him slipstream running down in towards Spoon. 130R, I should say. Cameron went second with a 26.8. That's why I couldn't get my words out there. Christmas out on top, though. Cameron now second. And that improvement from Cameron could be enough to bring TRT in. As we see a Williams spin, and that's Isu just starting up on a lap, and Thopye, in fact, is the one that is spun, coming through turn number 3.
Yeah, I don't know if the Williams were going to work on a slipstream, maybe Trophy was going to try, and do another lap, and maybe if he wasn't improving that much, maybe keep slipstream to his teammate, but now he's round, and now it's ISO, who is trying to do his lap, as he is improving only 1/10 on that set of softs, which is surprisingly slow, I would say.
Yeah, further on the lap as well, Yakita still hasn't set a lap time in for OP. They're coming around the final corner now. Teddy was the one that gave him slipstream, and Yakita goes third, 26.8, more like it from the OP guys. Christmas though out on top Jensen in second, Nikita in third. 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session for Lobby 1. Of course, more action to come. Lobby 2 and Lobby 3 will be coming up very soon, including a certain 3 times PSGL champion in Louis Welsh, who of course raced last night in the, well, I could say the farce that was PSGL PC tier F1. I felt sorry for George and for Jack commentating on that, but Christmas out on top. Jensen second, Nikita in third. No glitches so far, which I'm very glad to report.
Well, it's only quali, you know, it would be worrying if we actually got glitches in quali as well. But one thing I want to point out, both Williams have somehow bottled, you know, their laps. And they only have 5 minutes remaining, more or less. I cannot see with the yellow flags now in Sector 3, but if they're not able to set a decent lap, you know, without any incidents, watch out.
Fabi comes to the top end of the field. TTG currently dominating this session, first and second at the minute. Christmas gauge slipstream as well. So Fabi on the run down towards 130. Of course, slipstreaming is allowed here in qualifying night, and that just makes it a hell of a lot closer for the lap times to be set. But Fabi out on top. It's Christmas in second. It's Jensen in third. Jensen's still there, by the way. He just came back into the pit lane. 26.8 on that first set of soft compounded tyres. I think he set himself quite a high bar, and it could be quite a high bar, which he'll fall under, and I don't think he can actually maybe improve on that lap time, as Feddy actually puts him up into fourth for the OP team, 26.848, about 18 hundredths of a second off Jensen.
Insane. I mean, they're really, really close, as you can see, and I have to say, who I didn't expect to see there was DRT_Cameron, you know, with that 126.8, 73, only 5 thousandths off from the Aston Martin, so we could see a really, really close fight, you know, on the final attempt on this qualifying session.
Yeah, Jensen, by the way, in the comment section saying he needs to get a lap in with 3 obvious FFS. Well, I'm not going to repeat that on stream. We don't want to get wrong. It's easy though. Back into the pit lane, he was on a good lap there, but has decided to come into the pit lane with only less than 4 minutes to go. It's Fabi out on top, Christmas second, Jensen in third. Jensen is coming back out on track, and hopefully IFR's got a good chance. If Dawodek can get that lap in, he's down there in 7th position at the minute, 27 flat. If he gets a really good lap in, a really good consistent lap in, and Jensen gives him a bit of slipstream, I think IFR might actually have a sneaky qualifying here.
Well, more or less. I mean, you can see one of the drivers, you know, on top, although the gap is not that big, but, you know, in the esports scenes, 2/10 can be a really big margin. So I think both of them are going to be able to improve, and they're going to be able, you know, to set a competitive lap by the end of the session. But it's not going to be easy, because look how tight it is, you know, from 1st to 7th.
Yeah, it isn't going to be easy whatsoever. And yeah, you mentioned Fabi all the way down to Dawodek's covered by what? 0.4 of a second? That's more like a league race around here rather than a qualifying night. It's Fabi though out on top, Christopher second, Jensen third. Everyone now preparing up, probably to come out a little bit early, I've got to say, to try and get maybe 2 runs in on this set of soft compounded tyres, and it's going to be crucial for Jensen, for Nikita, for Cameron, and for Feddy as well, and for Dawodek. They've all got to try and lay it up to the TTG boys, because at the moment, no bias shown here, TTG have just dominated this session currently. Fabi and Crispus are a class above the rest, but what can Jensen do? What can Nikita do? What can the rest do as we now come through and towards the final couple of corners? Jensen then through the final couple of corners, through the Casio Triangle for the penultimate time maybe on his qualifying run, as he now comes up onto the start-finish line and now runs down in towards turn number 1 in excess of 200 mile an hour, running down in towards turn number 1 at the flat right of turn 1. Now through turn 2, breaking into 3rd gear through there for Jensen. Now comes out in towards turn 3, through the centre messes, through 3, 4, and then through turn 5 again, gets caught on the curb. We saw with Ayub Khan earlier on, and Jensen really struggling through there. Now towards the Dunlop curve at turn number 7, and then up towards the Degners. And we see the first sector split, just trying to look down at the steering wheel, and I think that's a 30.5 through the first sector, if I'm not mistaken, from Jensen, flying through there as he now comes out of Degner 2 on the run up towards the hairpin, pretty much at the highest point of the track at this point. And this is where, of course, the MotoGP layout kicks in. To the right-hand side here, MotoGP layout just off to the right-hand side, they take that little loop, going around and it degrades the speed up for the MotoGP guys. But Jensen running down in towards Spoon Curve at turn number 12 and then through turn number 13 and 14, I should say. And now running down in towards 130R, and he has got Dawidek in front, and this is what IFR need. They need that slipstream running down in towards 130R. Can Jensen deliver a very good lap on this? Looking good and through the middle sector as well, but Dawidek has got to get out of the way very soon indeed. Into the Casio Triangle, gets out of the way to the right hand side. Jensen now coming through the final corner of the Casio Triangle, through 17, through out of 18. Of course, the bump not there on this game. Jensen now to the line, and he does go top with a 26.5. That lays the gauntlet down. What is Christmas doing? He's coming through 130R.
Yeah, definitely, and he was improving by 1/10 just in that second sector. He got a slipstream as well by his teammate, but I think it could be enough. Let's see. He gets onto the finish line. I think it's going to be a good lap. 1:26.5, and it's only 50 thousandths of a second, if I'm not mistaken. So 49, to be precise.
Yes. 500s off. Sorry to cut in, Paco. Sorry, 500s off Jensen's lap time. But IFR currently, Jensen have got one qualified at the minute. Christmas and Fabi. OP look like the other team at this moment to qualify. Cameron, though, runs the line. He puts himself between both OP drivers, Yakita and Fedi. Yakita has just started up on a lap. Fedi is coming in towards the first couple of corners as well. Dawidek, however, has invalidated his lap, so that might be IFR out of things. Christmas still second. Fabi there in third. He's coming through Degna 1 and then Degna 2. Not sure who's furthest on. One of the ADRT guys, it's Isu, that is on a lap. Oh, and he's just invalidated coming out of the Casio Triangle, and that might be ADRT, Team Addictus' time now to maybe call it quits, because Thopier's the only one that can really manage something. He's struggling coming through the first sector in towards Dunlop Curve now, and Thopier seems to be the one that's struggling. I think he's actually backed off this lap, has he?
No, I think it was a really big mistake. Basically.
It is a really big mistake. Yeah, he certainly looks like he's lagging slightly as well, and maybe a little bit of decent going on. Christmas, though, giving Fabi a bit of a run, and can Fabi break this as Jensen has retired from the session? He feels he's done enough for IFR to get them qualified. At the minute, it is not going to be enough. Fabi in towards the final couple of corners, through the Casio Triangle for the final time. Now runs the line. Is it going to beat a 1:26.5 to the line? No! He's 200s off his own teammate. He goes third. He does improve on his lap. Yakita is the only one that can really improve, I think. He comes into the pit lane. Fedi runs the line, and Fedi goes top with a 1:26.4, and that is how you snatch it very late on. Cameron, however, is still on the lap as well. He's now coming into the Casio Triangle. Not sure if he's actually on a valid lap. He certainly looks like he is. And runs short, thinly down the line, runs toward the line, doesn't improve. Cameron does not improve. Thopier is the only one, I think, that is personally on a lap. Khan is also
he made a mistake.
And Thopier, he has made a mistake. Runs to the line, doesn't improve. Ayub Khan, TRT have got to rely on Ayub Khan to really get within the mix. A 26.5, I think, is going to be above his range of pace. But Ayub Khan, can he improve on this lap? Can he? No, he can't. He's back into the pit lane. That is the end of Lobby 1 qualifying. Fedi out on top for OP. Jensen in second, and TTG Christmas in third.
One thing I just want to comment on is basically that I don't know what Tier 2 were doing. Like, honestly, every team, was working as a team, giving slipstream, trying to help each other. But Tier 2, I didn't see none of them, giving slipstream. And I think that what Cameron missed in his lap was actually that toe from his teammate.
Yeah, and it could have been enough to outqualify Yakita. Fifth position, only 200ths of a second separating. But Fedi is out on top, Jensen is second, Christmas in third, Fabi in fourth. 800ths of a second, by the way, covering the top four as well. Just thought I'd mention that. Yakita in fifth, with Cameron in sixth, Dawidek in seventh for IFR, Team Addictus is Thopier in eighth, Ayub Khan in ninth for TRT, and Isu down there in P10. But that is the end of Lobby 1 qualifying. Absolutely fantastic action, of course. Out on track, more to come for Lobby 2 and Lobby 3. But let's just dissect that a little bit more, Paco. Fantastic laps from the TTG boys. Fantastic lap as well from Jensen. Hopefully, going to be a sign of things to come throughout the entirety of tonight.
Yeah, completely agree there. And to be fair, if this has been, this close, I cannot imagine what is coming next, because maybe they're not that big teams. Well, there still are some, but I mean, probably this one we had really good teams like OP, and basically TTG, two big names. And I think the big bottle for me it's Addictus, which probably they had the drivers, they had the pace, but they didn't get the laps right.
Yeah, well, remember, Team Addictos actually took the place of TF10, who you're going to be seeing in the next lobby with Louis Welsh and Yamaba going to be taken through for TF10. They've replaced them in the session. Could TF10 have qualified? What is TF10's fate going to be in the second lobby as well? What are we going to see as a result of that? But I totally agree. I think, to be honest, looking at it, Fetty out on top, Jensen in second, Christmas in third. I mean, 800ths of a second, separating 4 drivers, 2 from the same team in Christmas and Fabi. That's like league racing around here. We cannot get as close as that in league racing compared to the qualifying night here tonight, and it's honestly fantastic to see. So competitive drivers, and it just comes to show as well, I think the nature of the league racing community, it is in fantastic shape. We've got a lot of guys with a lot of pace, and I think that was proven by that qualifying session.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't want to, criticize like top level league racing, of course, but it's quite ironic, that probably the most enthusiastic part, of a round is basically qualifying, because it's that close and you get that feeling, of who's going to be on top. And then in the race, most of the time, not saying every time, it's just a DRS train. So for me, this quali, it's insane, and we still have 2 ahead of us. So I don't know what to say. I'm completely speechless. Everyone is so close. Everyone has put so much effort. So basically, whatever happens it's deserved, to whoever goes through.
Yeah, it's absolutely deserved. I think Jensen, by the way, in the comment section saying he choked a 0.2, a 26.2 in practice, so he was happy to deliver in the actual thing. Fantastic lap from Jensen as well. VSR isn't driving in the session. I'm seeing quite a few comments about that as well. Comrade Gaming, Visceral Racing, and VRT are all automatically qualified for this event. 2 teams from Lobby 1, 2 teams from Lobby 2, and I think 3 teams from Lobby 3, or the fastest overall 7th team will get that final place in the Esports Cup event. And of course, we'll take you through the calendar right at the end of the session, so keep tuning in for what is about to unfold, of course. But, Paco, we've got to transition, of course, into Lobby 2, and a 3-time PSGL F1 champion in Louis Welsh is about to hit the track.
Yeah, I'm shaking right now. Big Tungus, going into track, but no, right now, talking seriously about him, he's a really great driver. He's a really nice person as well. I've been able, to talk to him and stuff, and hopefully he'll do well. I think it's a really great signing by TF10. So hopefully he will be able to put a really good performance tonight.
Yeah, same WR Falk, by the way, in the comment section saying, I miss Jarno. Yeah, I think we all miss him, to be honest. He appeared last night, of course, in PSGL's PC tier. You can tune in for Jarno and the rest of the F1 Esports guys, of course, for that. On a Thursday night, George Walken and Jack Canan taking, of course, through that one. But Lobby 2 is currently, we're in the session at the minute. Drivers are being invited into Lobby. We've already got the 2 team mentalism guys in. But let's have a look at the actual drivers that we have got for Lobby 2, and of course TF10 being the big surprise. They're coming in, of course, for Addictos, you've just seen in Lobby 1, and I just need to find the graphic that we've got for Lobby 2. I wish I was a little bit more prepared than what I actually was, but I am getting it up now on my end, certainly. And for Lobby 2, from the bottom left to the bottom right, we are as follows. For Team Nexus, we've got Yabraka and Scholzer. Really hope I'm pronouncing these names right, by the way. For Team Addictos, who are not Team Addictos, it's TF10, it is Yomaba and Louis Welsh. For CPI, we've got Daniel V28 and CPI Florian. For Team Mentalism, we've got Louis and Johan. And for WOR, we've got Baraka and Namsko. Very good lineup again, Paco. Just delving into the driver lineup, who do you think is going to be the team to watch?
I don't know. I mean, probably mentalism. It's one, that we'll have to take a look, basically. But I would keep an eye also on WOR because they've always been there, and they've always performed. So overall, I mean, don't put the pressure on me, James. because every time we say something, it happens the opposite. So I don't know why you're trying to jinx everything. Therefore, I prefer to stay in silence, and just let everything happen.
He prefers to stay in silent. I wonder if we can mute him from the stream somehow, possibly, if he wants to be silent. But no, taking it seriously, of course, very, very good lineup, I've got to say. TF10, obviously, the standout names, Louis Welsh and Yamaba going to be taking through. Yamaba, actually, a recent signing. I think he was with FFC, if I'm not mistaken, F1 Friends Cup. And they competed in the EML League, which, of course, I cover on a Wednesday night for TTML and EML on League Racing TV. And they've got a really good team about them. Yamaba, of course, a very good sign, I've got to say. Under the radar, I think. Louis Welsh, of course, well, you know all about him. PSGL legend, of course. Looking at the rest of the teams, I've got to say, WR Baraka is a very interesting name. I commentated on him on Tuesday night. He's a very quick driver. Probably one of the guys to watch out for. WR, of course, as well, with Namsco. Both of their drivers very quick indeed. MNT, very familiar with them. Louis and Johan, the two Frenchmen, are going to be doing battle, of course, out on track. And, of course, each team gets aboard of their own car once again. So, for Team Mentalism, we've got them in the Aston Martin. For Hyped, we have got them in the Red Bull. That's Team Nexus, of course. For McLaren, we have got Florian and Daniel. So, CPI are in the McLaren. Mercedes are represented by Namsco and Baraka. And Williams are TF10, of course, Louis Welsh and Yomaba are going to be taking you through, of course, all the action. We are just literally moments away from getting us once again going. But what we can do is, well, I would say maybe make a prediction, but we really can't make a prediction because that qualifying session in Lobby 1, so tight once again. In Lobby 2, are we going to see around the same pace angle, that 26.5 area sort of thing?
Well, definitely, but we have to take something into account. We have Louis Belch, in this session, so I don't know where that time could go. But to be fair, he is probably used to PC, so I don't know how it's gonna be for him, to race on PlayStation, alternating both consoles, to say it in that way. But I think he could get it down to a low 26, so get ready for that.
Yeah, get ready for that, of course. Louis Welsh has been competing along with the likes of Jarno Opmeer, along with the likes of the other F1 esports guys as well in the PC tier. So that transition period might just be costing him, but if he's anything like what he used to be here in PS4, he is going to be a very quick driver and probably the man to watch out for in this session. We have just had a restart of the lobby. Everyone is in the lobby as we stand, so we are going to be getting going very shortly indeed. I can in fact see L-Tink in the lobby actually readying up everyone, so everyone is now ready to go. We are ready to go, and once again we're going to go for Lobby 2. And Paco, of course, you're commenting there as well, I see. VSR Jam, by the way, has came in and said that wants to watch MNT and CPI. Interested to see how Lobby 2 goes. Of course, get in touch with us if you are enjoying this. Like, comment, subscribe, take that notification bell if you are new, of course, to the PSGL channel. But once again, let's remind you of the track map in question around the Suzuka International Circuit of 5.8 kilometres in length, 3.6 miles. 18 turns, of course, awaiting the drivers out on track, and the figure of 8 circuit awaiting the guys as well. And the 3 compounded tyres that everyone can use, they don't have to use, probably going for the C1, C2 and C3 compounded tyre. The softs, mediums and the hards, of course, to you and me. And Paco, we saw in Lobby 1, set of soft compounded tyres was the tyre to go for a majority of the teams. We saw Team Victus, of course, set on a set of medium compounded tyres. Everyone, though, to get the best lap time, should go on the set of softs.
Yeah, of course. I think Adicto's situation was more of a bottle. I don't know why would they go, mediums at first place when it's only, a qualification. But, I'm not going to question the strategies from each team. I'm not there, I'm not a professional guy, therefore I have no view on this subject. But yeah, as you said, soft is the tire to go.
You and me both, I think. You and me both. We still way away from the strategies. I think the last time I did a strategy for somebody, I think they ended up out of the race. So don't trust me with your strategies at all, everyone that is tuning in, to the 196 of you that are tuning in, of course, for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. Of course, this is only qualifying night. We are about to get going, though, with the on-track action. I can see a Red Bull leaving the pit lane, and that Red Bull, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is somebody. Somebody is leaving. It's Schulze, sorry. It is Schulze for Nexus. I couldn't find who was leaving the pit lane there. I really need my eyes testing. But Schulze is the first man on track. Of course, the Dutchman, relatively new team, Nexus. You could call them Nexus 2.0. Of course, they were originally formed as part of Nexus. Now, of course, with Nexus Racing Esports. And Schulze, very quick guy. You've got Yabraka as well. Very interesting to see how they cope with the trials and tribulations, really, of both Japan and, of course, the pressure that is going to be provided them, especially with being with a new team.
To be fair, James, I have to say before they start their laps, I'm not going to take that long, that they've done some good signings, some decent signings. Of course, they don't have top-notch drivers, but for their level, I think they've done some interesting signings which have a lot of potential, and that their progression could be interesting to follow throughout the game cycle. So interesting to see where they go from here.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Of course, everyone looks like they're going on that sort of soft compound tyres. We alluded to that, of course, a little bit earlier on in this qualifying session. But yeah, Nexus, I think, have signed some really good guys. Yabraka and Shoulder, two very unknown names, certainly to me. Might be to you as well, Paco, but hopefully they can provide a show out on track against the likes of Yamapa, against the likes of Louis Welsh, and certainly against the likes of the MMT boys as well, and the WR boys in Baraka and Namsco. Very open session, I've got to say, and let's get started then with Schulze. Coming now through the final corner here at the Japan circuit, going to reach 200 miles an hour, running down in towards turn number 1. He starts us off then on this lap at the Seoul DRS zone, running down in towards the turn number 1 complex, and then through turn number 2, and hits the curb very nicely on the outside line. You want to try and cut onto the inside line, try and get that run out. Now coming through the centre messes of 3, of 4, count them up as we go along, of 5, and then eventually going through turn number 6, and then of course in toward the Dunlop curve at turn 7, and this point on track marks the end of the first sector, and Schulze now comes through the end of the first sector. We'll see his timing split, and it's relatively good through the first sector. Oh, he gets caught wide coming through Degner 1, now through Degner 2. How is that a valid lap? I do not know. Schulze now running down in towards the hairpin now at the top of the hill, pretty much the highest point on the track as we see it. Now Schulze comes through the top of the hill. Looks like he's got an Aston Martin lying in wait, and his teammate as well, Yabraka, lying in wait as well. Could have picked up a little bit of slipstream from Johan, but running down, of course, in toward 130R, he is going to pick up his teammate Yabraka, who is just on the exit of Spoon curve right now. He gets going. There's the time to go. Don't know what I was saying there. Schulze on the back of Yabraka, running down into the end of the middle sector, and the Nexus boys are working together very nicely indeed. As now Schulze comes through turn number 15 at the 130R, in towards Casio Triangle for the first time, runs wide on the exit of turn 16, in towards 17, just compromises line slightly, and that compromises the line even further, coming through turn 18 to the line, 28.1. We saw that, of course, from the ADRT boys on that set of medium compound tyres in Lobby 1. Not a bad lap, but certainly going to be trying to get up there in terms of his pace. Louis just came in for Team Mentalism at 126.9.
Yeah, as we can see, that's not a competitive time at all, as he has already been beaten by 2 drivers already, and by a really big margin. So definitely he will need, to improve that lap.
Yeah, Yabraka's just starting up on a lap as well. Baraka has just starting up on a lap. Florian's coming through in towards the final couple of corners. We have an Alpine going still there. Guess who that might be? That's Louis Welsh, I think, going slow in the Williams, in fact, I should say.
That's a Baraka. On the S's. Yeah, he lost it, and not sure if he got damage, because I think it seemed for me like a front wing came off, but I'm not sure if damage is activated actually.
I love it, by the way, when you come out of TV pod, then you go into broadcast cam, and then you get given this camera angle that we are seeing currently through the S section. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more than that. Baraka, though, he is pulling off track. There was a car just coming through. That was Louis Welsh, in fact, just starting up on a lap. Let's run on board then with the flying Brit coming through the end of the first sector, and we'll see if he's actually lost any of that touch from the PC tier on his transition into PS4 and PSGL tonight. It's Louis still out on top. Yamaba went second with the 26.9, so very close. But Louis Welsh now on a lap in towards the hairpin. He's got Daniel just in front of him for CPI. He looks like he's lost his his front wing actually out on track if I'm not mistaken. Louis Welsh now though running down in towards Spoon Curve at turn number 13 and through turn 14 of course where Vettel spun. Spinella back in 2018 I think it was. Louis Welsh now comes through turn 14. Yes, I really just did say Spinella out on stream, and Louis Welsh runs down now down in towards 130. I've got Yamaba just in front of him. Yamaba of course that new signing to TF10, and Louis Welsh on this lap, a signing since August for TF10 in towards 16 and 17, the Casio Triangle. It's a very good lap, a very consistent lap from Louis Welsh as well. So good coming through there. Now runs to the line. What's the lap time? 27 flat, and he's third. I thought that was a lot quicker.
Exactly, surprised because they run through those final corners. I think it was probably the most smooth run I've ever seen today. So surprised it's only a 27 flat, but definitely I think he has some time to gain in his lap, definitely.
Plenty of time to find, Oh, and he's actually gone for a spin at the Dunlop curve. Welcome back to PS4, Louis Welsh. Hope you enjoyed that spin. Down in P3, 27 flat currently, and that wasn't meant to be sarcastic at all. He just took a spin coming through the Dunlop curve. Louis Welsh, though, on P3. He was off on a down lap as well as a result of that. But Louis out on top for Team Mentalism. Yarva in second, Louis Welsh in third, Yuan in fourth. And it seems to me, Paco, Team Mentalism and TF10 currently, there's a tenth and a half separating first to fourth, but they're a class above the rest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, at the moment, it's just what you've said, but I think I have some expectations on CPI. Well, just because I read it on the comments, to be fair, I don't know none of the drivers in CPI, but if I honestly believe on BSR, Jam, I think, was the one who said it, so let's see what he does, because right now, Florian, about to start a lap, surprised that he has done it now, that late into the session. But hopefully it'll be a good one. Approaching turn 1, not actually a really good apex, I would say, a little bit deep. But at the moment it seems like a good run. Let's see how he goes through the S section.
Yeah, coming through the S section, coming through turn 5 and 6, it looks to me that turn 1 and 2, he took a very shallow line, I've got to say, into the curb. And he just looks like he's struggling. He doesn't look like he's got the natural pace, first of all, out on track. But Florian, going through the first sector, it's a good first sector, but he needs to try and stay that consistent lap. And you never know, other teams could falter in this qualifying night, and with 9 minutes to go in this session, halfway through nearly, Louis out on top, Yamaba second, Louis Welsh in third, Johan in fourth, Namskull currently in fifth for WR. They're not too far off the pace either, but Raka, of course, needs to get that lap time in as well. But Florian, on the run down in towards Spoon Curve, let's see what he can do in towards turn number 13 and on the exit of turn 14 at the exit of Spoon Curve. That's more like it, a lot more conviction, a lot more pace coming through there, and a lot more rhythm from Florian. Getting used to the track, I think, and now running down in towards turn number 15, of course, 130R. Somebody has asked, by the way, is the game working today? Yes, clearly, the game is working today. Florian's on the lap, running down in towards the Casio Triangle, and there is a car out on track, which I can report. Florian coming through turn 16, and then through turn 17, and now Florian runs toward the line. What's this lap time going to be from Florian? 28.6, relatively off the pace, but around the sort of time that Nexus was setting. Schultz is about 5/10 ahead of him, but Florian can get a better first sector. That could be a lap to try and trouble the likes of his fellow teammate, and of course Yabraka, who's in sixth.
But hold on, because right now the Nexus guys, well, actually Schultz is on a lap. He's being helped by his teammate by the slipstream. Right now about to cross the second sector, which he's not improving surprisingly after the bad lap he did. And let's see if that slipstream helped him a little bit, to try and beat his time. But at the moment it doesn't look like a good lap by the Red Bull driver. Closing in into the finish line he goes, and that's a 1:27.6, so definitely he had a lot of time in that final corner.
Paco says, coming through the end of the middle sector, he was hardly improving, and he goes 5/10 quicker. 27.6 though, very good lap from Schulter. Not to disown you at all, Paco.
Are you trying to make a point out of that?
He did improve, though. That's what we're trying to get at. He did improve. Very good improvement as well as a result. And he's up there, as I say, with Yabraka and with Daniel. So the CPI boys are going to be a little bit worried. Louis has just started up on the lap. He's now coming through the final corner. In fact, to the line. He doesn't actually improve on that lap time. Yamaba is also out there, coming now through turn number 2. And Yamaba's probably going to be the one of the guys to watch. This Williams camera angle, I rate this. This Williams camera angle coming through turn 3, through turn 4, and then through turns 5 and 6. And let's see what this Spaniard can do out on track. Louis Welch's teammate is only 1400ths of a second off him. Yellow flags in sector 3, don't worry about them whatsoever. Just drivers preparing up for the lap. In fact, it's both the WOR boys that are preparing up for a lap. Oh, as Yamaba takes a lot of track limit coming out of Degner 1 and still about a lap at the minute.
Yeah, surprisingly. Just saying that Yabraka in the Red Bull is about to finish his lap. He's improving by 4 tenths in the second sector. He has slipstream from his teammates, so that could put him actually in P5 with a 27.1, but maybe he has a little bit of time to gain in that final sector.
Yeah, out of the final corner he comes. Yabraka to the line. Yep. Wow, he goes second. 26.9. Very good lap. Hype Schultz has also retired out of the session. He feels he's done enough. However, you've got Louis Welsh behind you and got Yamaba behind you as well. I don't think that is enough whatsoever. Yamaba, though, is on a lap. Let's see what he's doing through the end of the middle sector. It wasn't too bad through the end of the middle sector, but he's got to try and improve. Jam, by the way, said earlier on that the optimal time would be around a 26.5. We could see that from Yamaba coming to the line. Doesn't actually improve, so I think he's going to go at least for another run. Louis Welsh is just preparing up for a lap as well. Johan, though, comes to the line. That's more like it, a 26.4, and in fact, that's even quicker than what we had in Lobby 1. Really good lap time from Johan, and Team Mentalism, now suddenly the team to beat.
But where did he come from, though? Because we didn't even see him coming.
He was down in 4th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He was around the... He was in 5th, actually, and improved from 5th position. It was a 27.1, I think, his lap time. 26.4, big improvement from Johan.
Oh, Luis is out! He completely
curve.
lost it. He was, he touched the curb. He was on a really fast lap there. He had a really good run through the S's, but at the exit, he just completely touched the curb and completely lost it into the gravel. Unfortunate for him, because he had pace to be up there, and he has completely destroyed his team chances.
Yeah, TF10 then could be the massive shock in Lobby 2. It's all really up to Yamaba to try and salvage at least something out of this session. He is on the lap at the minute, 26.9, his current best. Johan, though, still out on top, 4.5 minutes ago. But what about that? 3 times PSGL champion, returning to PS4 for the first time. And Louis Welsh is out of the session here in qualifying night, Lobby 2. And Yamaba, in fact, wasn't on the lap. He comes into the pit lane. But Baraka, by the way, for WR, went second as well. So good lap by Baraka. Namsko, if he can get a good lap in, if he's around the same pace as Baraka, he should be well up there. But Johan out on top, Baraka second, Louis in third. And Louis Welsh, out of the session, throws this entire qualifying night for Lobby 2 wide open.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, I think there are teams, that I didn't think they would have a chance to pass it after that bottle, from Luis. They finally, have a chance to try and go through this event, but it's just a little bit disappointing because now, Yamaba cannot do anything about it because he doesn't have a teammate on track and he cannot get slipstream, so basically his lap, is gonna be barely beaten. He cannot improve it, as well as Yabraka, Why did his teammate retire on the pits actually? When he could have held.
Is Namsko either coming out the pit lane or is he? Oh, there we go. Now it fixed itself. I thought we had a glitch there. Baraka, yeah, I think Namsko was coming out the pit lane, and Baraka was just holding his pit stop to try and come into the pit lane. And I honestly thought we were going to get a reversing Mercedes like last night. But Johan's still out on top. Baraka in second, Louis in third, and Mentalism Louis, in fact, down in there in P3, 26.9. He's about a tenth and a half, maybe just more than that, behind Baraka. Mentalism looking in a very strong position, but I think to back that up, Louis has got to set a lap time that is above Baraka's 26.7, just to guarantee them that little bit of a buffer in case drivers go quicker, like the likes of Yabraka, maybe like the likes of Namsko as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but James, let's be real. I mean, Yabraka and Yamaba have barely I mean, I don't think they're gonna be able to beat their laps. Although, I think the people behind are not even gonna beat it either.
Yeah, I think they've set such a high bar, I think, in terms of the lap times, then it probably won't be beaten. We saw that, I said that with Jensen in Lobby 1, and then look what happened. He improved, 4/10 of a second on his lap.
Yeah, but it's not only that, it's also the fact, that their teammates are basically out, and they cannot keep slipstream or whatsoever, so they're not going to get, a tow, which will be helpful for their laps.
I've just seen the tweet, by the way, come through from Mr. Louis Welsh himself. Well, this aged well. It did. It did. That's all I'm going to say. 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go, and Louis is preparing up. Not Louis Welsh. Mentalism Louis is preparing up for the lap. 26.9 is current best, but as we say, he could try and find a lot of improvement in that Aston Martin, of course, out on track. Don't worry about the yellow flags as well. And in fact, actually, speaking of coming through Sector 1, there's a McLaren in the way. That looks like Daniel or Florian, one of the two CPI boys. And there's a little bit of traffic further ahead. Louis could get involved with a little bit of traffic here. Luckily, Florian's up to the right-hand side, but he's got to be careful because his teammate is ahead of him, and the Mercedes is ahead of him, and that's Baraka.
Yeah, but definitely his teammate, is looking forward to give him some tow. The problem is going to be probably Baraka. Oh, and he almost oh my god, that's a safe and a half. How he has saved that
still
and he
valid?
doesn't validate. Yeah. Nah, insane control of the car. Let's see if he can improve that lap though, because that mistake was costly. Yeah,
he's backed off.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised he backed off. He probably just lost 2-3 of a second, I would say, from that mistake alone coming through Degner 1. And Degner 1 seems to be one of the corners where you either catch it or you lose it. And it's one of those corners that really tests the drivers to the absolute limit. Namsco, by the way, not on a lap in the minute. Daniel, however, CPI is, and he's now coming up in towards the hairpin. And we'll see what this lap time is going to be from Daniel. And he's going a little bit slower through the hairpin as what I would imagined, actually. Is he actually on a lap here?
No. He has gone down to... No, I don't think he's on a lap. I think he's saving...
He's backed off,
because
yeah.
because maybe he made a mistake, he's waiting to do... No, but he doesn't have enough time. Yeah, so I don't see what he's doing.
Yeah, so he's got to set a valid lap time here. 27.5 currently his personal best. Coming through the middle sector, I'm assuming this is well off his time at the minute. 27.5 is his best.
Or maybe we have the time glitch, because I'm seeing people crossing the line and they do not get the checker flag.
Ah, I think we do. Good spot, Paco. I think we do. We've got the minute glitch, as I like to say. Daniel runs the line. He's going to get another lap in. So yeah, we have got a bit of a glitch within this lobby. However, it's nothing that can't be restarted. We just have to deal with it as it is, as we are giving to us. Johan, by the way, and Baraka also on lap times at this moment in time. And Johan, the man I'm going to ride on board with, is the next man to come across the line in the Aston Martin. Currently got pole position by an absolute street. He runs wide coming through Spoon, and your Baraka is out of the session coming through the Dunlop curve.
Yeah, everyone, I don't know why is everyone thinking like it's a good idea to touch the curve, completely touch it and went into the gravel just like Luis Belch did.
Yeah, Johan on a good lap though, coming through 130R. We'll see what this lap time is going to be in the Aston Martin now, coming through the final couple of corners. Really attacks the first half of the Casio triangle. Now to the second half, degrades the speed away slightly. Johan now runs the line. Is an improvement? No improvement at all. Baraka's just in behind him out on track, and Baraka now runs the line. And that's an improvement, 26.6. Gives a little bit of buffer over this man here, Louis, who I don't think is actually going to improve on this lap time. Louis now runs the line and actually clips the wall on the right-hand side. Coming across the line, Yamaba now running to the line. Does he improve? No. Namsco, is he on a lap? Daniel, is he on a lap as well? We're right on board with Daniel. He's invalid, so we're right back on board, I should say, with Namsco running towards the Casio triangle. Still Johan out on top, Baraka in second, Louis in third. At this moment in time, it looks to me, Team Mentalism, and maybe WR could snack it. Namsco goes third, I think.
I think that was a 26.7. Maybe I'm going delusional.
You might be right. 26.866, I think that was. See, I've got an eyesight. Johan though is out on top at 26.4. A 10.5 clear Baraka, not like what we saw in Lobby 1 where it was a lot condensed down, but a quicker lap time from Johan. Team Mentalism and WR have qualified from Lobby 2 very comfortably indeed, I've got to say as well in the end. Johan, though, out on top from Baraka in second with Namsko in third. Mentalism, Louis in fourth with Yabraka in fifth. Yomaba out in P6. Louis in P7 as well. Could have improved Louis Welsh in seventh if it wasn't for that mistake through the Dunlop curve. Daniel there in P8. Hype Schulze in P9. And Florian rounding off the top 10. But Paco, Team Mentalism, WR have qualified from Lobby 2. I've got to say, a little bit of a shock, but given how the session panned out, I think worthy.
Yeah. I mean, probably the fact, that Luis Belge made that mistake probably conditioned everything for TF10. And I feel really bad for him because I know he had the pace, he had practiced, and making a mistake like that basically costs the teams go through. It's unbelievable, and it's gonna cost him, to gain the confidence back after that. But yeah, a big mistake.
If there's any man that can try make an absolute statement on his return, it's Louis Welsh. Louis Welsh will not care one bit, I don't think, with this, to be honest, with that spin coming through Dunlop curve. But he can find ways to improve, and especially if it's his first time around Japan as well, it will be very interesting to see how he comes back, if he's going to come back on the PS4 platform, or if he's going to solely focus, of course, on the PC platform, of course, competing with the likes of Jarno Opmeer. And again, if you are aware of what is going on, Jarno Opmeer is not here. He is not in the final lobby. He is nowhere to be seen. He's not in the commentary box with us. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but he is not here. But of course, you can tune in for PSGL's PC F1 tier Thursday night, 7 PM, and I will say that over and over and over again until the cows come home.
I mean, I don't know how many times you have said it already, but I mean, it's a few times now. I think we should put, a little sign on the bottom corner saying, "No Jarno Opmeer tonight," Therefore, we don't have to say it like multiple times.
I wonder if we can get Tom, our graphics man, to maybe do that instead of the track map in the bottom right-hand corner. No Jarno Opmeer, or like a little slider going along the bottom. But honestly, fantastic in terms of Lobby 2. Lobby 3 action is going to begin very shortly indeed. We're just transitioning into that lobby once again. But in terms of Team Mentalism and WR, Paco, WR made a massive statement there with both Baraka and Namsko. Team Mentalism, I didn't think they were going to qualify, if I've got to be brutally honest, but they have. First and fourth position for them. Maybe two teams to watch out for, given how consistent they were in that lobby.
Well, clearly you don't have faith, don't you? I mean, I have to say MNT did a really good job there. I mean, I said it at the start that they were the ones to watch. Probably the ones that surprised me. Because at the start, one of them I didn't see like up there, but in the end, like he managed to do a really good time just at the end of the session, and they were there, but not putting flowers on me. But at the start, I said WOR and Mentalism. Therefore, I'm a good visionary.
Did we owe Paco with a round of applause from that prediction? Let us know in the comment section if he deserves a round of applause live on stream here tonight from Lobby 2. But I've got to say, good predicting from you. It's nice to see you're actually informed for once compared to what we're normally used to.
All right. Thank you very much, James, for once.
But of course, we have got action to come. We're not detracting away at all. We're just waiting for the lobby invites to come and everything, and to get back, of course, stream with the on-track action. But what we can do, Paco, is have a focus on Lobby 3's lineup. And no changes, as far as I'm aware, to the Lobby 3 lineup or to any drivers. So, again, from this graphic, from the bottom left to the bottom right, we're going to go as follows. So for Royals Esports, we've got Andres Lopez and Messenger. For FVR, we've got Max, is what I'm going to say. I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with. I can't pronounce his name. That's why. And Like Panda for FVR. Yeah, well, we'll get to that one in a minute. SXT are with Tedo and Asi. With Team Shazoo are with Ogiano and Suku. Very strong lineup, I've got to say, from Shazoo. And ET8 are represented with Davakin and Pandre as well. quite a few drivers I actually haven't commentated on, Paco. I know you're probably familiar with some of these guys more than me, but big standout name for me, Shazoo. Ogiano and Suku, two names, household names here in PSGL and in other leagues, should be the team to beat.
Well, yeah, I mean, we know that Shazoo right now, they're not like in their peak, you know. Lately, they've been a little bit on a downfall, but they're still there, you know, and I think that this event could be crucial for them, you know, like to, you know, punch the table, you know, if that's how you say it in English, and say, we're here, you know, we're still here. As you said, really good two drivers, but probably one team I would keep an eye on, ET8. I think I know the owner, I know some drivers in it, and I know they're a pretty solid team, you know, quite cooperative, you know, so they'll probably do well.
Yeah, ET8 actually have a driver change, I believe, as well. I believe Gustav has taken the place of Pandre. So Gustav is in for Pandre, and Devakin is also here within the lobby. So ET8 have got their reserve driver in. Of course, each team were given a choice of a reserve driver. We've mainly seen the first and the second drivers given to us as part of the lineup and given to use, of course. Aki, by the way, in the comment section saying, what the hell is going on? You've missed literally everything. What we can tell you what has been going on, of course. This is the qualifier night for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. It's on the PS4 platform, so again, no Yana Watby and no F1 Esports guys here tonight. But each team has a chance to qualify for a 10-team championship, which is going to happen in 2 weeks' time. We'll run through the full calendar at the end of this stream. And at the end of the stream, we will see who was qualified for the overall Esports Cup event to join Comrade Gaming, to join Visceral Racing, and to join VRT, of course, who are part of the organising team here for the PSGL event. And Jam has also came in as well. It's for teams only, so all the biggest esports teams from PS4 will be in this event. And Dintran as well, I think, coming to us. How are we doing today, Paco? How are you doing, Paco? I think I forgot to ask that.
Me? Nah, I'm doing well, mate. Today I played tennis paddle. Probably no one knows what this is, but, you know, just a random fact of the day, so everyone knows.
Well, we had a discussion about this before we came live, by the way, and I'll just say that I've never heard of it before. And when I don't hear of anything, it normally doesn't mean it's a good thing.
No, but hold on. Actually, I want to know in the comment section if anyone knows what tennis paddle is. You know,
does anyone know
a good
what
question.
Yeah, does anyone know what tennis paddle is without doing a Google search? Because I know some of you guys, you do like to do that Google search, of course. I found out what it is, and I'm not going to say until anybody might have a look at it. But Westelboy also coming in the comment section saying, is the race today? No racing today. It is a qualifying event. The first race begins in Azerbaijan in 2 weeks' time for this particular Esports Cup, live and exclusive, of course, on a Friday night on the Premier Gaming League's channel. Hopefully, we've been clear on what we've said. Falk, by the way, has said paddle tennis, the indoor squash version of tennis. See? Squash. There you go.
No. No, but he actually did, he said the indoor squash because he needed, you know, to specify exactly. But I think Joel had, the perfect definition, you know? Tennis with walls, basically. Yeah.
Tennis with walls, what we like to call squash over here in the UK.
You're weird, guys. I mean, the guys in the UK, the way you say some things, well, I don't want to say anything because then I get in trouble, you know, and everyone comes at me saying, oh, how did you say this? But just an opinion.
It's part of a societal change, I think, throughout the world, to be honest. We of course, Paco, of course, lives in Spain. I live in the good old northeast of England. Tom, our graphics man, of course, lives in the Netherlands. So we're far apart, pretty much. We're commentating, of course, from home, not on the same commentary box together. So it just makes sure that we are really an F1 community for everyone. And everyone, of course, is welcome and is invited in. And speaking of invited in, it looks like we're going to be getting going in the lobby. And to confirm the cars, by the way, as well, ET8 are in the McLaren, Red Bulls are Shazoo, RYS, Royals are Alpine, SXT are Tedo and Assi there in the AlphaTauri, and Loic Panzer and FEO Max, as we're going to call them, both in the Williams. But we are about to get going, of course, and if you are unfamiliar with what is going on, let's have a look then at the track map in question. Once again, for the Suzuka International Circuit, 5.8 kilometres in length, 3.6 miles, and 18 turns awaiting the guys, of course, out on track. And of course, a fantastic track, the only figure of 8 circuit that the F1 calendar has ever run around. 3 compounded tyres, which everyone could use. They may not use in the qualifying night. Softs, mediums, and the hards, of course, to you and me, the C1, C2, and the C3 compound of tyre. And of course, clear weather, blue skies, sunshine here in Japan, all on an even playing field. All of the guys, of course, now joining out on track for the third and final lobby here. And Paco, looking ahead, we've already talked about Shazoo. Any other teams, apart from ET8 as well, as you said, any other teams that could mix it up, probably to try and get their final place in the F1 Esports, in the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup. I nearly said the F1 Esports Cup, though.
I would talk about SXT or even Royals, but I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know them that much. So I'm going to say Fireboy is the only one I know from those 3, and I know they generally have good lineups. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, to go through this event, but if they work together, if they do things right, they might have a chance.
Yeah, Tyson's backing you up, to be honest, on that. FVR should get this 100%. FVR are very quick drivers, I've got to say. We've got Shazoo, though, with Ogiano out on track. Like, Panzer is one of the FVR guys as well, out on track there as well. He's now coming through turn number 3 and 4. And I honestly don't know the lineup as well. So it is literally uncharted territory, I think, in terms of FVR. I've seen some of their drivers, though, some of their other teams that they've got. The drivers that they've got, and it's a very, very good team. Very strong lineup in terms of their team. Fantastic, of course, to have them as part of the qualifying night and hopefully as part of the F1, the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup. I will say the F1 Esports Series one day, I promise you, on PSGL, but out on track, we have got on-track action, and it looks to me as if it's Ogiano, the first man out on track, or one of the first men out on track. It's Andres Lopez for Royals, who is the first man, and in the Alpine, the Spaniard will be hoping for a pretty good result.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see, because right now, as we've seen in the other 2 quali sessions, everything has been so tight, so close that it's really difficult to call, but definitely... Actually, one thing I want to point out, the Alpines, I think they're really separate on track. I mean, will they give like sloops to each other?
Yeah, you would imagine so, to be honest. I know Royals are certainly not. Andres is certainly getting on to his lap now. He has got Tedo off to the right-hand side. They're coming out the pit lane. Yeah, Andres now coming through turn number 1, now through turn 2. Don't worry about the yellow flags in sector 3, by the way. Everyone just preparing up for their first lap times out on track. Andres Lopez now coming through turn 4, now through turn 5, and then in towards turn number 6. In toward the Dunlop curve then, of course, of turn 7, just in front of the Japanese eye. Very similar to the London eye, of course, if you've ever been to the UK, as Andres now runs down in towards Degler 1, and now through Degler 2. Very good through there, very good consistent pace through Degler 2, and very clean coming out of Degler 2 as well. Now running up in towards the hairpin, and let's see what the man can do, the Alpine can do, of course, out on track as he now runs in towards spoon number 12. Turn 12, running down in towards Spoon Curve at 13 and 14. I really am losing the plot as we get through tonight, but Andres Lopez on a very good lap now, coming out through the final couple of corners in this middle sector, and he has got his teammate Messenger just in front of him. So Royals working together as we have seen it so far tonight in both Lobby 1 and Lobby 2. And of course, we will put time frames on Lobby 1 and Lobby 2, I'm sure, in the description later on when this video was fully uploaded onto YouTube, so you can catch all of the action, of course, from what has been happening. Andres, though, coming now through the final couple of corners, runs towards the line. Good lap to set us off, 27.3, and that's the quickest first lap that we've seen from anybody.
Yeah, but look at that, 26.6. You were talking too early, James. Chateau driver with a banger of a lap, but look at that AlphaTauri. Will he beat it? No, 27 flat. So right now, 26.6. I think it's a really solid start to the session.
Yeah, Shazoo goes second as well. FER third with Max or Maxwell. If you are part of FVR, by the way, make sure you give me the right pronunciation before you throw me something like that at it. But Ogiano on top, Suku in second, FVR Max in third, and 26.9 currently is his personal best. Asi then for the 27 flat, and Andres Lopez, of course, in fifth with a 27.3. But Paco, you pronounced that you predicted the first result, of course, last time in Lobby 2. It seems to me my prediction's right. Shazoo seems to be dominating first and second at the minute.
Well, I mean, I think we knew that. I mean, not gonna take credit on you, James, because, you know, for once you feel happy about it. But Shazoo has a really strong lineup. I mean, despite they've been on a really bad situation lately, they still have really good drivers.
Messenger just dripped down to 7th gear there, coming through 130R. I'm not sure if it was anything to do with the tow that he got running in towards 130R, but he downed the gear through 7th, and I think he lost time as a result of that. Messenger to the line, 27.9, he wouldn't have factored anywhere near his teammate Andres Lopez and Asi as well. But Messenger, 27.9.
Oh.
That's the first time I've seen a 7th gear being taken through 130R tonight.
Tactics. Anyways,
Maybe.
SXT underscore Tito, or however you say it, with a 127.7, he completely lost it on the final couple of corners, so he has a lot of time to gain there, although I don't think it's going to be enough to get in the 126.
Caden Forbes, by the way, in the comment section, I like this comment. Yono isn't racing, but Vakin 23 is, and he's better. Well, here he is. We're on board with him. Now coming in towards the Casio Triangle through 16 and 17. The Vakin now running now through the final corner. No bump, of course, there on the inside curve. Running to the line, 27.2. Maybe not as quick as Yono Otmir, but certainly 5th position will do for now. Gustav, his teammate, came back into the pit lane. And actually, one thing to notice, I've just seen it there. There is a real dip down in terms of the terrain, in terms of going into the pit lane. That you saw it on screen. If you watch it back, Gustav went down, literally a bump, to get into his pit lane. I've never seen that around here in Japan.
I mean, it's weird indeed. But not gonna lie, I was watching the Williams from Loic Panzer, which is on his outlap, so I couldn't really see what happened. But I will take a look at on the stream later. But one thing that surprises me is that already, you know, 3 drivers are in the 126, which we saw, I think, in the second session. But in the first session, I think it was more difficult, you know, for all drivers involved, you know, to get into the 126s, which shows basically that there is a big potential by the drivers. I think at least 6 or 7 could get into the 126s.
Yeah, Jam, I think, corrected myself early on in Lobby 2. I think he said it was a 25.8 optimal time you could get around here.
Yeah.
It might be just wearing a little bit thin, to be honest. We've seen lap times around the 26.4, 26.5 mark. So that might be just a little bit overreaching, but you never know. Shazoo could actually produce this. Anybody could produce this, to be honest, in Lobby 3 tonight. Look, Panzer, however, has just started up on his lap now, coming through turn 3, through turn 4. Find a lot more curve, I've got to say, than what I've seen in previous lobbies. Through turn 5 and in towards turn 6. And Luke Panzer on a good lap at the minute for FEO, for Fireboard Gaming, of course. And that comes out through the Dunlop curve in towards sectors 1 and 2, and it's a good first sector from Loic Panzer. Purple first sector from Loic Panzer as he now comes through sector 2. Very, very clean lap from Loic Panzer into the hairpin. I really do not know what I'm saying. I really need to take a rest after this. Ogiano out though, out on top, Suku in second, Max is in third, Asi there in fourth, and Devakin in fifth. But where is Loic Panzer going to go? He's currently on a very good lap, running now in towards the spoon curve of 13, and then in towards 14. Appropriately, he's got his teammate in front of him now as well. Max is in front of him, and looks like he's just been miscommunicated slightly. He might have to get out of the way on the exit towards 130R, and Loic Panzer right underneath the switching, and there he dips out the way. But a good middle sector once again from Loic Panzer, and the Williams is on fire as he now comes through in towards 16 and 17 of the Casio Triangle, with still quite a long way to go in this session. Loic Panzer through the final corner, and he gets caught in the curb. What's the lap time going to be? The 26.9. That looked a lot quicker than the 26.9, if I've got to be honest. But Loic Panzer, clean lap, crucial. FBR well up there, second and fourth.
But I would say, James, that probably he lost about a tenth with that slipstream. I think that's the potential time he could gain. So plus the track, progress. Yellow flags in sector 2. That's an
Driver off the lap.
yeah, he was, never mind. He was letting an Alpine by, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was Tedo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Suku was on the lap. He's taken a full 8th gear coming out of the spoon, so he's obviously backed off on this lap. Let's run on board with somebody else. Max is on the lap now, coming through in towards the end of the middle sector. Runs wide again, and track limits around this track here in Japan. Maybe with a focus to the PSGL calendar moving forward if they were to run, of course, Japan on this game. Track limits is going to be a big talking point, I think, because again, we saw it coming out of Sector 2. You can run wide, but on the last game, I'm sure if you ran wide there, you would pick up an invalidation.
Yeah, I think that the last game it was a little bit more strict with the track limits, if I'm not mistaken. That is something to point out, definitely, and something Codemaster should take a look at. The Williams, not having the best communication, I think, when it comes to the slipstream. But still, Max improving for 10th in his lap, so it could be he could get pole provisionally.
Comes the line, and you're right, 26.4, and that is quicker than Johan's lap time, if I'm not mistaken, from Lobby 2. So as we go through, we're getting quicker and quicker and quicker here in Lobby 3. It's Max though out on top. Ogiano, though, is going to respond, 26.5. Good lap from Ogiano, and Chizu still second and fourth at this stage. Suku was invalidated on the lap. Gustav, by the way, he's a very late reserve call-up, but he goes 5th position for ET8, so good lap time from him. 27 flat is currently the case. Assi on a lap as well. I think he might be just off a lap, in fact. And Tedo was spun coming through Sector 2.
Yeah, I was about to commentate on that because surprisingly there wasn't yellow flags for that.
Which was really weird because he was backwards.
Yes, exactly. So
but then
Assi
again,
not doing a good job.
Yeah, but then again, you didn't have yellow flags for a reversing car in the pit lane, did you? Last night.
Well,
doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Welcome to F1 2021, everyone. Max out on top though. Ogiano in second, Lloyd Panzer in third. 6 minutes to go here in this qualifying night, and to confirm, there is nothing after this race. We are done after tonight. Lobby 3, the first race for this PSGL and the VRT Esports Cup, one of the leading events, of course, on the PS4 platform, is 2 weeks' time from now. So the 24th September, myself and Aidan Carter, who's not here tonight, he is going to be taking you through the action, or we're going to be taking you through the action for Azerbaijan, as Tedo is back into the pit lane. You said wow at something.
Because I thought that McLaren's slipstream was terrible, and indeed it was. I think there was a miscommunication. No, because I thought they would fix it, but no, they didn't. So let's see what Dobekin does for 26.8. But I think there's some tenths in his lap that he could gain.
Yeah, Devakin goes third, and just to confirm, getting a few more comments coming through there as well. Just qualifying, there is no race. No race here tonight, just a qualifying night. First race, as I say, 24th September, 8 PM UK time. We're taking through the action, of course, from Azerbaijan, and we'll announce the full calendar very shortly indeed, within the next 10 minutes. So stay tuned for the full calendar release as we get towards the end of the stream. But still, Max on top, Ogiano second, Devakin in third. Gustav again came into the pit lane. Messenger is on a lap as well. In fact, he's not on a lap, he's invalidated on this lap for Royals.
Nice.
And Royals down in 8th and 9th position at the minute, Paco. They need to do a lot more, I think, to try and qualify.
I mean, and the thing is, I don't think they have those extra tenths, to get from, because their laps seem decent, but I didn't see them making mistakes. I just think that it's what they got. So unless a miracle happens, I think they're completely out.
Yeah, Assi and Tedo are in the same position as well for SXT. I mean, Assi has got more to fight for, I think. 27 flat at the minute. Tedo, we can probably say he's going to go a lot quicker than 27.7 as well. And if he's around the pace of his teammates, they should both improve twofold out on track. 4 minutes to go, though. Maxa's out on top. It's Ogiano in second, it's Devakin in third. And of course, if you are just tuning in and wondering who we are, the commentary booth, My name is James Head, of course. Paco Suarez alongside me in the commentary box for tonight. And Paco, it's been an absolute pleasure, of course, to commentate alongside you tonight. And we'll focus, of course, at the end of Lobby 1, Lobby 2 and Lobby 3, and we'll give our overall review in just a second. But I see an FBR man beginning to set up on a lap. It is Loic Panzer, 26.9 at the minute. You said, and I will quote, he was going to improve 8 tenths per second on this lap. Talk us through it.
Wait, hold on. I said what?
You said Loic Panzer would improve 8 tenths of a second on this lap.
Alright, no, we'll see. Okay, he goes through turn 1, now turn 2, really good apex, getting a really steady exit, trying to take the best line as possible, hitting the curb, not that much, because if you abuse, you will probably lose the back end of the car. At the moment, really clean lap, I would say, really pushing, but not exceeding too much. Let's see what he does for the first sector. 13.15, marginal improvement. At the moment, not the 8 tenths improvement I was expecting. But we move on. Now into Spoon. Trying to get a really good exit. He does up to 4th. Trying to get the best as tight as possible to this right-handed corner. Trying to hit the curb a little bit. Now sends the car. Trying to not exit track limits, which is quite easy to do on here, and here we go, his teammate giving him some slipstream, but once again, I don't know if this has been the best tactic so far. His teammate get out of the way, of course, marginal improvement in sector 2, so at the moment, those 8 tenths we were expecting, James, I don't think they're gonna come here, but let's see, final couple of corners, good run, trying to get the best exit as possible, trying to beat his time, and he does by 2 tenths. So there was, you know, I was right. There was some time, but not as much, of course. But he goes 3rd, which I think it's a pretty solid time. And if they handle it well, I think he could help his teammate now in his last attempt.
Yeah, Andres Lopez has just got out of the slipstream as well. Messenger, that was more like it, I've got to say. There was yellow flags throughout the whole entire sector 1 and 3, by the way. And that was for Messenger, I think he got out of the way. Andres though to the line, 26.8. That is more like it for Moyles, and it puts them in the mix. Can Messenger follow with that lap? Time will only tell. Like Panzer out on a lap, Ogiano on a lap at this stage. I'm going to ride on board though with Suku coming now through Spoon Curve on the run up towards 130R for potentially the final time on his lap. Still a minute to go. Max out on top, Ogiano 2nd, Loic Panzer in 3rd. Quite a few drivers out on laps.
Suku is in a really big improvement. I think he could go charge for pole, but not sure. He's on the final couple of corners, now going on to the finish line. What time will he set? At 1:26? 6.
Wow.
Yeah, he lost a little bit on that final sector, but he was up there to try and beat Max.
We got completely hyped up for that, by the way, Paco, so thank you very much. Suku, the P3, 26.3, 26.6, I should say, from him. Like Panzer's just got out of the way of his own teammate as well, so Max obviously going to try and improve on this lap time, and 26.4 is his current best. Currently the fastest lap time we have seen so far tonight, and that was ahead of Johan in Lobby 2, as now Max comes to the line. Doesn't go any quicker, and he backs off, so that is his qualifying run done. Ogiano has put himself up to 2nd, 26.5. The lap times are going to come in thick and fast from this point onwards. Andres is improving in the middle sector. However, he's got his teammate Messenger in behind him. Devakin is just starting up on a lap as well, as he's just started up on a lap. And now Messenger out of the final couple of corners, 27.4. Really going to try and put it up here for Royals. Runs to the line. And he doesn't even improve his position. 27.3 did improve his lap time. Tedo was also out there on a lap along with Asi, and Gustav is coming through the first sector as well. Trying to see who's furthest on a lap. It is Suku that is furthest on, but I don't think he's on a lap.
No, he was. Surprisingly, he did 2 in a row, and he's back on, behind on his time, not having the best run. Probably because he did 2 laps in a row, which is a bit surprising, but let's see what he does. 126. No, he doesn't improve. He was close to, but probably he didn't improve because he did 2 laps in a row. I don't understand why.
Yeah, no improvement from Suku, 26.6. Currently, Ogiano is off. I think he's gone for another lap as well as Ogiano, if I'm not mistaken. He's running now through the end of the middle sector, and he is improving slightly. So Ogiano, at this moment in time, could he try and beat Max for pole position? Shazoo against FVR, it seems, at the end of Lobby 3 here. Max on a very good lap time, but Ogiano now runs through the final corner, fronts the line.
There it
26.4. That is it. Ogiano has
Amazing.
taken potentially pole position. What can Devakin do? What can Gustav do? Gustav's in through the final couple of corners. Asi has improved to 8th as well. Tedo has improved. Gustav is back into the big lane. He hasn't done enough. Devakin is the only man, I think, that can actually now feed in for ET8. Can ET8 try and find something? Devakin, 26.8. He comes into the pit lane. Disappointing. I think Messenger's off a lap time as well. He is.
Yeah.
That is the end of Lobby 3 qualifying, everyone. And it's Ogiano, very, very late on indeed. 26.404, 300 to the second ahead of Max in second, and Suku in third. So, in the end, Shazoo and FVR, I did say they'll dominate, and they have.
Yeah, well, we both said it, alright? I mean, calm down. And it was a domination, because look at that. 33 thousandths of a second, which for me, it's insane. That, I mean, imagine if we had, like, the chance, you know, to have everyone in the same session. That would have been insane, but I understand that it's better in separate lobbies, of course, because there were too many teams. But overall, I think it has been a good event. Overall, I think it has been good qualities, and we've seen plenty of drivers, you know, putting performances that personally I didn't expect. For example, Andres Lopez, I didn't expect him to get into the 126, and he was able to, probably not enough, because his teammate with a 127.3 has probably, you know, brought down his performance of the team overall, which is a shame. But overall, I think we've seen good performances today, James.
Yeah, fantastic performances from everyone out on track, and it is Ogiano out on top. It's Max in second, it's Suku in third, it's Loic Panzer in fourth, 0.2 of a second separating the top three and all of that. Andres Lopez in fifth, Devakin in sixth with Gustav in seventh, Asi in eighth, Tedo in ninth, and Messenger ran off the top 10 as second, covering the top 10. I'm literally seeing live and exclusive on my iPad at the minute all of the team standings getting done, and to Paco, it's in the Twitter chat, if you know what that means. Scroll up, it's Google Docs on there, and we're just seeing the organisations coming in, and we're seeing the overall positions of who's on the border and who was actually qualified for the event. And fantastic lap times from all three lobbies, I think. But overall, Paco, we've got to be honest. Who was your standout qualifying team for tonight?
That's a really... Why do you give me the difficult calls? Honestly, I mean...
Always do!
From what I remember, okay, because my memory is like Doris one, you know, from Nemo. Basically, I would say Shathu probably was one, because I didn't expect them to be as quick as they were. And probably TTE. I would actually say TTE. It's not biased, okay? I'm not affiliated to TTE in any way, but I think that taking into account, you know, the drivers they had in the past and how they have progressed, I think it's a really big jump. I think they've definitely, like, said, here we are, and it was a good thing to see them up there with a good time, actually.
Yeah, of course, 15 teams doing battle out on track. And we can now reveal the 7 teams that have qualified for the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. And I can say now, live and exclusive, that Team Shazoo came out on top in that final session with an average of 173.0. This doesn't mean anything to you guys, by the way. It's Team Shazoo out on top, TTG Esports in second, great showing from the TTG boys, with FVR in third, Outplayed Racing have qualified in fourth, with Team Mentalism in fifth, WOR Esports in sixth, and snatching that very, very last spot by 0.2 of a second, I may add, IFR Esports are through to the event as well, with ET8 Esports missing out by 0.2 of a second on that position. So those are the 7 qualified teams And now we can have a look at the calendar, what is going to be unfolding, of course, out on track over the next 10 or so weeks or so. We have got break weeks, of course, in between, but let me get up the graphic on my end to run you through the calendar, what is going to unfold, of course, out on track over the next few weeks or so. So, round one of the championship is going to take place on September the 21st, and that is in Azerbaijan. Round two is in France on October the 1st. Then we've got a break week for a week. Round three is October the 15th. Paco, your home track, it's Spain. In round four, we have got Singapore for October the 22nd, I should say. Belgium, round five, October 29th. Then a break week once again. Britain is round six on November 13th. Portimao, if it gets added into the game, is round 7 on November the 20th. Imola is round 8 on November the 27th. Then another break week, and then we've got December the 10th, America for round 9, and then we end off on the December 17th with, if it gets added by then, Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. And Paco, just looking at that calendar, 10 great tracks for the guys to go to. Anybody's game now.
Yeah, definitely. And I also like, that they've included the new tracks which are expected, to be released in the following weeks, which are basically Portimao, Imola, and Saudi Arabia. So I think they're good additions. I think overall the calendar is pretty solid, and we're gonna see really good action. Can't wait, to see it as a spectator from now on, and see you and car mentalist, commentating over the action, and it will be, really great to see.
Yeah, it will be really great to see, of course. It has just been put into the Discord as well. You can now check the teams that are knocked out, but Neverlast Racing have asked this, so I'll confirm the teams that have not made it through the event. ET8 Esports came in 8th position, so they are the reserve team. If any of the teams in the top 7 were to drop out, ET8 Esports would take that place. So they've still got a chance if one of the teams in the next 2 weeks, of course, was to drop out. TF10 Esports missed out as well. They came in 9th. Royal Esports were 10th. SXT Esports were 11th. Nexus Racing Esports were 12th. TRT Racing Esports were 13th. Team Addictus in 14th. And sadly, and I've got to say this, picking up the wooden spoon, CPI Esports unfortunately get that wooden spoon. But fantastic event. Well done all 15 teams, and well done, of course, to the 7 qualifiers: Shazoo, TTG, FBO, Outplayed Racing, Team Mentalism, WR Esports, and IFR Esports. And that is that. Thank you so much for tuning in to the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup qualifying night event tonight. We really hope that you enjoyed it. It's something new. It's something that's never been done before on PSGL, but we hope that you're going to tune in 2 weeks' time in Azerbaijan for the first round of the championship, where myself and my co-commentator, Mr. Aidan Carter, will be there to take you through all of the action on the PS4 platform for what is going to be one of the biggest events on the PS4 platform. But, Paco, we have to end it here. Thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box. Thank you to Tom Zaggers, of course, our fantastic graphics man who's been working behind the scenes to provide you with all of the graphics and the overlays that you've been seeing tonight. Absolutely appreciated, as always. And thank you to everyone at PSGL for making me feel welcome and making Paco feel welcome tonight as well. And I really hope you have enjoyed the stream. If you have, like, comment, subscribe. Take that notification bell, of course, if you are new. And that is that. Thank you so much for watching the PSGL and VRT Esports Cup event. And until next time, goodbye.